The era of the Umayyad Dynasty begins after the death of Caliph Ali ibn Abi Talib. This era ends with the fall of the Umayyad Dynasty. The founder for Umayyad Dynasty is Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan.
Practices introduced during this era. First, central treasury, Bait al-Mal, became the Caliph's personal property. Second, introduction of entertainment such as music, dancing girls, and astrologers. Third, Caliphate office became hereditary monarchy. Lastly, scholars continued the methodology of the companions, Sahaba, using Quran and Sunnah and developing other sources of law. Increase in issue related to fiqh and ijtihad. The expansion of Islamic empire increased the numbers of people, and new converts brought diverse cultures, customs, and lifestyle. When Islam spread, many new issues came up. Scholars used the Quran, Sunnah, and ijtihad to solve them, which created different methods of fiqh. Dispersion of scholars among a companion and tabi'in. First, the map is to show that scholars were spread out in different countries and regions. Second, there are a lot of students from other regions also traveled to learn. Third, scholars were not equal in knowledge of Quran, Sunnah, and other sciences. Lastly, the scholars mostly solved issues based on available sources, leading to difference of opinion.
Dispersion of scholars led to the breakdown of the principle of ijma, where the scholars scattered across the vast empire. Other than that, there are emergent sects, which is Khawarij and Shia, added to methodological differences, and each group followed their own scholars that causing further differences. During the Umayyad era, Islam expanded rapidly across many new regions, from North Africa to Spain and Central Asia. As the empire grew, Muslims began to face situations that had never happened during the Prophet's time. To prepare for these changes, scholars started to discuss hypothetical fiqh, which means possible future issues that might happen one day. They asked thoughtful questions like, if people trade using new currencies, what would be the Islamic ruling? Or if non-Arab people embrace Islam but still follow their old customs, should those customs be accepted? Through this discussion, scholars developed new rulings. They created fair rules for currency exchange to avoid interest, allow local customs as long as they didn't go against Islam, and set fair tax system for both Muslim and non-Muslim. This effort helped shape Islamic law to fit real-life situations in the growing empire. It showed that even centuries ago, Islamic scholars were flexible, wise, and forward-thinking, ensuring that Islamic law could adapt to any time and place.
When Islam expanded beyond the Arabian Peninsula, its teachings reached people of different cultures, languages, and backgrounds. As Muslim communities grew in different regions, they encountered new issues that required scholarly interpretation and legal guidance. Over time, each region developed its own methodology for resolving legal and religious issues. These methods were rooted in the same Islamic principle but differed in emphasis, reasoning styles, and sources. So now, let's look at some examples of how this unfolded in different regions. The city of Medina, the Prophet's city, held a special place in Islamic history. It was the home to many of the Prophet's closest companions, and it preserved a strong tradition of hadith and practice. Among the leading scholars here were Abdullah ibn Umar, the son of Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab, and Abdullah ibn Abbas, a cousin of the Prophet, known for his deep knowledge of the Quran and its tafsir. Moving on east to Kufa, in present-day Iraq, we find a different approach. This city was known for its deep analytical tradition. Here, the most prominent figure was Abdullah ibn Masud, a senior companion and a brilliant legal mind. He was sent to Kufa by Caliph Umar and helped establish a school of thought rooted in reasoning and analogy. This methodology later influenced the Hanafi school of thought developed by Imam Abu Hanifa, who was based in Kufa. Next will be Basra. In Basra, another major Iraqi city, fiqh developed under the influence of two key figures, Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, a companion known for his piety, hadith knowledge and fair judgment, and Malik ibn Anas, although primarily based in Medina, had students in Basra and influenced the region's scholarship. Over time, Basra produced scholars who bridged the gap between the traditionalism of Medina and the rationalism of Kufa. In the region of Sham, the companion Muawad ibn Jabal played a significant role. He was praised by the Prophet as the most knowledgeable of my ummah in matters of halal and haram. And my last example would be Egypt. In Egypt, the teachings of Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As were highly influential. He was one of the most knowledgeable companions in terms of hadith, having written them down during the Prophet's lifetime, something few others did. Thus, Egypt played a crucial role in the formalization and transmission of fiqh. Understanding this regional development helps us appreciate the richness, depth and flexibility of Islamic jurisprudence. It reminds us that differences in fiqh are not flaws, but a reflection of Islam's ability to adapt and provide guidance. Spreading and fabrication of hadith. First is the narration of Sunnah, spread rapidly due to the need for knowledge and legal information, where the scholars traveled to search individual narrations transmitted by companions and students. This increasing tendency towards the fabrication of Sunnah began to be attributed to the Prophet. For the fabricator to be trusted, he will relay some true hadith along with his fabrication. This caused mixture of true and false report and eventually was used by some scholars in making decisions. Fabrication of Sunnah happened due to fanatism toward certain sect. Some will create hadith about the virtues of good deeds in order to encourage people to do good, and some about punishment for evil deeds to discourage people from committing evil acts. As I was saying, this effort led to both positive and negative consequences. Spread of fabricated hadith pushed scholars to set conditions for acceptance, leading to compilation of hadith. Finally, the conclusion for the positive part is extensive reference to Sunnah in resolving fiqh issues, and also access to Sunnah became easier for scholars. Whereas the negative part will be false saying attributed to the Prophet, and also scholars had to investigate authentically and to